Hello everyone, welcome to the Aries Moon Girl channel. Hi Felipe, this is your birth chart reading, the free birth chart reading that I promised a while ago. Sorry for the slight delay and also sorry for having a slight cold now, but I needed to finally do this chart reading for you. And I'll just straightly jump into it. It's going to be a superpower chart reading, and this is your chart. As I usually do, for superpower readings, I will look at the houses where your planets are situated. If there are any houses that stick out, as you might see, there are some in your chart already. Then I'll look at your sun placement, your moon placement, both sign and house, which is very important to define your superpower. And then I will be looking at the south node and the north node, which is your life path, which is telling you where you have been and where you're headed towards. And in the end, I will look at Venus and Mars, telling you how you're attracting things into your life. This placement, I think, are the most relevant in a chart. People get caught up in a few other placements like Saturn or Chiron. Of course, there are many other aspects that you can look at, and those aspects will probably make you understand your weak points or your some of the struggles that you're going through, or any aspects, secondary aspects in your life. But these 5 placements are at the core of your chart and will explain everything that you want to know about the bigger picture in your life. And especially it will explain what your strong points are and how you can go about living your life to the max. I tend to have this very positivistic, very positive attitude towards astrology, where I tend to look at the planets that can offer us the most insights into what our core strengths are. And in this case, the superpower reading does just that. Okay, so let's get into this. First of all, you will see that in your chart there are a few houses that are fuller than the others. The first house that sticks out a lot is the 7th house. The 7th house is the sign, the house of Libra, and you happen to be a Libra sun. So always in all these charts that I've been doing now, you will always notice that there is a few patterns that repeat themselves 1, 2 times, 3 times to tell the same type of story in the end. So all these planets in the 7th house and your Libra sun kind of signify the same type of thing, signify that you are orienting yourself towards other people, that you need people in your life where you can reflect your own image in comparison to them. You need to bounce ideas back and forth between you and other people. You need to have people that are close to you and that are reference to you. And also you're a person that's very adaptable and can be actually very much oriented towards pleasing other people as well. So there is a balance. You always have a balance there between asserting yourself and pleasing other people. This is what Libra is all about. Libra is learning about the other, because until then all the other signs have been concerned with developing their own ego, their own self. And only with Libra we're starting to consider, oh, there is someone else outside of me, and in isolation, only by myself, I don't feel so full and so good. So I need to incorporate that other person into my life. I need to respect their wishes as well. I need to have a constant balance between them and me, and I need to balance this out. I need to make everything work between them and me, to balance both needs and get the most out of it. And this is what Libra does. Libra does dancing on a rope to balance everyone's needs and their own, and to achieve harmony and stability and fairness. Libra wants a lot of fairness. So with this placement, you definitely have a component where you're focused on, and that is partnership, and that is exchange with other people. The second house that is very full, and you will see has a very deep meaning, is the 8th house. The 8th house is the house where your sun also is, and where Pluto and your north node is. This is for me the key to your chart, actually. This is probably the reason why you wrote me in the first place. I have noticed that most of the people that have asked me for the free reading have a strong 8th house. 8th house is where, once we have discovered ourselves, once we have discovered the other, and we have affirmed ourselves, and we have incorporated others in our universe, we start to go deeper. We start to go into our soul. And this is where the crisis also comes in, because after you have other people in your life, and after you have reached everything that you could reach on an ego level, you get into the situation of discovering a total new side of yourself, of discovering your subconscious. Your subconscious is something that the first signs of the zodiac don't get into, and this is why the big crisis happens in Scorpio, because it's that deep fall. You're coming from up there and you're falling just so that you can have the power to look into yourself. And usually 8th house people are people that due to outer circumstances or inner circumstances, it can also be just bad dreams or bad experience that they had, even imaginary. They start to look into themselves for answers. They start to go into their subconscious and discover themselves finally, because they realize that on the outside, living at a superficial level of existence doesn't satisfy them anymore. So this is where the crisis of conscious comes, and this is where all the people that go into astrology, go into religion, go into psychology, this is where they start from. It's that lower point where you just go deep within yourself and try to search for answers. Another house that is very predominant in your chart is the 5th house, and that is the house of Leo. That is the house of creativity and playfulness, and everything that has to do with us creating and being in that creative state. So it's the house of children, because these children are also created. It's the house of fun, because the creative state is a house of fun, is a state of fun. So it's a state of playfulness that allows us to create the most wonderful things. And usually 5th house people are great creators. They're also passionate lovers, and they are known for it, but this is the placement of someone that stands in the center point, of someone that's an actor, of someone that's an artist, of someone that's taking ground and creating and using its powerful energy to make others happy, actually, because creation does this, makes themselves and others happy. So definitely with this focus in your horoscope, I would say that you're a person that's very much concerned with understanding yourself and understanding others. You're very much trying to look deep within yourself, and you're trying to balance you're trying to probably balance your creativity with your deeper nature and looking within yourself. So I would say that you're probably an artist, and usually you can be an artist and still be tormented by so much emotion. So you're probably dealing with that emotion. But let's go further, because as you open a letter, more is unveiled in a chart of a person. So let's go to the sun. An 8th house sun close to Pluto. It's not a conjunction because Pluto is conjuncting um, how can I say it? Pluto is conjuncting North Node, and I'll go into this when we get to North Node. But an 8th house sun, you probably are a person that receives a lot from others around you, in a material sense or in a safety sense. 8th house is the house of of inheritance, of receiving from a marriage or from the family, or from goods coming to you. And with the sun there, goods coming to you while you shine your light on these people. So 8th house and 8th house sun people and Scorpio people usually receive a lot of financial support, or can receive financial support, because they provide the service of understanding others, of understanding the soul of others. I know it's going to sound a bit absurd, but I have a South Node in the 8th house, so you have the reverse of my experience, and I'm going to go into it. But with the sun there, I would say that probably you don't have any material worries, or money is coming to you from the outside world, and this is not one of your main struggles there. On the other hand, one of your main struggles is this battle with the psychic, is this battle of going deep into someone's psychic, in yours and in the psychic of those around you. So also your relationships are very intense and very passionate. I see very much passion in this chart from this point of view, but also very intense. So you want to get to know other people also to their core. You care about very deep, meaningful connections where you can know the soul of someone, and especially in a love relationship. I would say that with a sun in Libra in the 8th house and opposition the moon, you probably know this already, but there were some issues in your family or in your childhood. I would say more coming from the father figure, from the 8th house, but taking this opposition into contract, there is that could also be coming from the mother, but I would say mostly from the father. And there is this opposition between the sun and the moon. So there is an opposition between what you are becoming and seeking and looking for, and where you are coming from, where your comfort is. So you are becoming more and more involved in discovering your psychological self, your inner self, your in having these very intense relationships with people, while at the same time your moon feels better in the 2nd house. And here I already pass on to the moon analysis. The 2nd house, which is a house of tranquility, a house of just enjoying life as it is and not questioning it, a house of enjoying what Earth has to offer us, a house of knowing your own value and not doubting it. And with the moon there, I would say that you probably had, and it's the moon in Pisces there, so I would say that you probably are very attached to the beginnings of your life. So you are probably attached to a part of your values that you inherited from your family or from your surroundings. And probably I would say that with the South Node there and the moon, you probably had an easier life in the first part of your life, or you never know, because I told you there's this opposition, but you probably come from a place of serenity, of love. It's a lovely placement, because Pisces moon and the second house, Pisces moon is extremely creative. It's Pisces moon can see through the souls, through the collective souls of people, and Pisces moon can tap into that and create art. And all that you have in this chart tells me that you are very good at creating something beautiful and art. And this natural moon that's there, and that's well placed in the second house, tells me that you're a natural creator. So you have created since always, and you probably felt very good in this. But also Pisces moon can get lost in other people's feelings, and Libras can do this as well. So the danger with this sun moon constellation is that you might have had a lot of support, also financially. You might have been able to create wonderful things. You might have had a start in your life that's beautiful, and that's helping you develop your art side and all of this. But at the same time, that you were lost in the feelings of others, that you were drawn into their how they felt. And the tendency here is also to people please. Sun in Libra and moon in Pisces, you could be someone that tries to please other people, but definitely this moon in Pisces is magical. I don't know, probably you have seen my moon in Pisces video, but it's a moon that allows you to perceive things that very few people perceive, and you perceive it at the subconscious level, and you express it through art. You express it through creating wonderful things, through writing beautiful letters, through you live for, with this placement, you live for music, for example. I'm sure that you tremble at the thought of music, because both the second house and Pisces there are very musical and very artistic. So film, arts, painting, all of this. So Pisces, Libra, second house, seventh house, all of this tells me you're a very sensitive and artistic soul, plus the fifth house that actually creates. But careful not to lose yourself in others, and not to lose yourself in the expectations that others have from you. This opposition could also be a gap in the expectations that you or others have of you. So where you feel comfortable and what people are expecting of you, and you losing yourself in other people's wishes or other people's emotions, which is very dangerous for Pisces moon. Yes, but going into your life path, I would say that North Node, 8th house, South Node, 2nd house, with the moon also there in the 2nd house. So where you come from, you feel very comfortable in safe surroundings. You feel very comfortable in protected surroundings, and it might be possible that your start, as I said before, your start in your life was like that, and that you felt very safe for a period of your life, and then things started to be a bit shaky. As you move through life, as you move towards your North Node and your Sun there, things started to be a bit shaky. Something shaked you up from the inside. Something made you consider, something made you transform. North Node with Pluto is a karmic lesson of transformation. Something exploded in there, and it started a process of transformation. And you, with your powerful moon in the 2nd, that's very comfortable there, might have tried to push back on this for some time, or might have ignored what your true calling was, or that calling towards self-discovery. But this is not possible for a long time. We need to follow our north node, and especially with you having the sun in the same sign there in Libra, you will go and follow your north node, and you will go and transform through deeper introspection, through getting to know yourself and getting to know other people. Libra there again tells you you need to understand the psychic of those around you. And your Pisces moon kind of intuitively knows this at a global level, but this north node wants you to do it at a personal level, at a one-to-one level, at a let us discover ourselves. And in a relationship, you will long definitely for this, but also in all of the relationships that you have in your life, you will go towards this analysis of yourself and analysis of others. Going into the Venus and Mars placement, Mars is placed in the 5th house, in your house of creativity, in your house of center stage. So you have a lot of pathos, and you have a lot of confidence in yourself in this creative house. So this is where you act from. You act, you go on offense with creativity and love and taking up the stage and emotion, because it's also in Cancer. So this is how you act. You act from this dramatic, passionate place, and you act through art, I would say. You express yourself through art. But how you attract things to you, this is Virgo in the 7th house, and this is a lot more of a pragmatic approach. So 7th house of Libra wants balance anyways, but Virgo there makes it even a bit more pragmatic. It makes it a placement that kind of balances out all the other things in your chart. So although you're so passionate, although you're so sensitive, although you're so artistic, when it comes to love, for example, I think you will choose very wisely, or you won't throw yourself with a head forward without thinking. I think you will choose based on a deep sound logic, and probably you will first get to know that person very closely in their deeper true nature, and then you will choose based on that. But definitely the things that you attract to yourself are very well calculated. So you're not a hopeless romantic from this point of view. You are an artist, but love for you needs to be a two-way street, where you also get your benefits from it. And again, I'm going to say this. Overall, I think your path in this life is to go towards understanding yourself, understanding others, expressing through art, but more than expressing only through art, it has to do with you understanding what all this stands for. Why are you suffering? Why are you not able to sleep at night? Why at some points you feel this torment inside? And I would say that having a south node in the 8th house myself, I know the reverse of it. I know that this path of the north node is the path of really getting to know yourself. And I know that Pluto there will transform you, but you have this powerful tool of creativity to transform through it. So if you take it through creativity, if you take it through beauty, if you take it through balanced relationship with other people, this is where you'll find your superpower coming from. So from beauty, from balance, from equilibrium, from harmony. But at the same time, you know that you will never go back to a place where you're not asking yourself what's there deeper. I hope this was helpful. I would say that um, I didn't talk about your Aquarius rising and you having Uranus in the ninth, because this gives you another perspective. This gives you the perspective that you need to take unusual routes to your beliefs. So you need to explore and take routes that are less explored, and you need to find your own path that's different from the path of many others. I didn't talk about Neptune in the 10th. That's also very important from my point of view, because it could mean that you could influence a large group of people through your art, so through the beautiful art that you're creating. So keep this also in mind, but keep in mind that the most important thing for this lifetime is to dare to go deep within yourself. The more you try to avoid it, the more powerful it gets. So you need to explore that side of you, and you need to explore it in a playful manner, but you still need to go as deep as you can into knowing yourself. Thank you so much. And this was another birth chart free reading for one of the loyal viewers of this channel. Very soon I'll be launching my own website, and I'll be doing readings for everyone. But until then, please write me down below what you thought of this chart reading. Please also write me if you have any special requests, any videos that you would like to see, any placements that are of interest to you, and I will try to produce these videos as soon as I can. I'm Aries Moon Girl. I care about the stars, but most of all I care about you, and this is why I do these videos. Bye bye!